Hey, Shalom, giving all praises, acknowledgement, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakah, HaKodash. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, which means He is, He exists, and Yahweh Shai is the beloved Son, who the world will ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shai, meaning He deliverer. Bahashim just means in the name. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that have taught us this truth, and they continue to teach us. And shalom to your brothers doing this mighty and powerful works, in hopes of salvation. So pretty much within 24 hours, major war meeting is taking place. All the top U.S. generals are meeting up to discuss something major. Now, people are speculating like, oh shit, are we going to go to war with Venezuela for the oil? Are we going to go to war with Iran? But war is coming. All right? This is super major. Now, I looked up, when did the president summon all top generals throughout history? So you have one, George Washington, the Revolutionary War. All right, now hold up. Before I bring out more, let's just get a precept, to set the tone, because this is time of war, man. The government is literally declaring war on you so-called blacks and you so-called Hispanic with the whole deportation thing. The government is literally declare war against the people. All right. Ecclesiastes 3:8. A time to love and a time to hate. Well, actually, jump to 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So nothing just happens off coincidence. Everything is for a set season for its purpose. And all these events is for the Lord to return and judge the earth, because the earth lieth in wickedness. There's too much wickedness going on in the earth. So verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate. And we're in the most crucial time of history where hate is intense. Especially here in America, hate is intense, man. All right? A time of war and a time of peace. So we're in a time of war. You see the police getting more militarized. You see the soft martial law on cities. You see these countries puffing at each other. Threatening each other with nuclear missiles. So we're in a time of war, man, not a time of peace. All right? It says Washington had both commander and later president often gathered his generals to plan campaigns against the British. So the British Revolution. It says the famous Council of War at Valley Forge, 1778, included generals like, Greene and Henry Knox to decide on military readiness. So that's exactly what all these generals meeting. They're getting ready to go to war. All right. Then you got Abraham Lincoln, the Civil War. It says Lincoln repeatedly summoned his generals. All right. There's a pattern. When the president and his top generals are gathered together, especially at a military base. It's a serious war that they're about to start. All right? And keep in mind, they've been agitating the shit out of Russia. The UK and the America has been sending, arming Ukraine against Russia, and the weapons are getting crazier. Like, they're trying to give them Tomahawk missiles and like crazy missiles, and they're using that shit on their cities. All right. Then you got the Harry Truman Korean War, 1950-1953. It says, after North Korea invaded the South, Truman called in his generals and the Joint Chief at Blair House to plan intervention. So by tomorrow and the day after, we're going to hear what they're going to do moving forward. All right? But this is not a light thing. There's a pattern. All right? It says, John F. Kennedy, Cuban Missile Crisis, 1962. Kennedy summoned his top generals, admirals, advisors to form executive committee of the National Security Council. And then you have recently George W. Bush, 2001, post 9/11. It says on September 11, 2001, Bush and Secretary of Defense Ronald Rumsfeld worked with the Joint Chief at the Pentagon, and the White House. It says shortly after he summoned them to plan the war in Afghanistan, Operation Enduring Freedom. So yeah, they're about to come up with their agenda as well, their propaganda to go over there, wherever they're going to go. If it's Venezuela that they set their sights on to go to war with for the oil, or, challenge Russia. We're about to find out. It says almost every U.S. president during the war of major security crisis has summoned their top generals. These summits usually happen at the White House, Pentagon, Camp David, or emergency sites like Blair House for Truman. So this is a very serious thing. All right?
In just 24 hours, there is something extremely important happening here in the United States. And that is that the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, is going to have a meeting where he is going to speak for about an hour with hundreds of admirals and generals from around the world. But he's going to talk about the U.S. military and what he thinks is the best way forward. Again, this is somebody that has been put into this position, but some of these generals and admirals are saying, we've been doing this for decades. You are not going to tell us how to fight for this country. But look at this right here. It says, what to know about Trump's Quantico meeting with top U.S. military officers. Well, why is it Trump's meeting? Well, just the other day, President Trump said he is going to be attending this meeting as well. And I want to show you something. Listen to this right here.
Washington Post is reporting that the event will cost millions of dollars, that it raises military security concerns, and that it runs the risk of leaving top military leaders stranded. Quote, it is estimated that flying, lodging, and transporting all the military leaders.
Excuse me. How many languages do you speak?
I speak 3 languages, English, Spanish, and French.
Okay, let's...
Yes, it's going to cost millions of dollars. There is an extreme concern that the United States is going to go to war, whether it's against Iran because they are trying to produce nuclear weapons. Is it going to be against China because China, with the help of Russia, is going to try and invade Taiwan.
So World War III is going to be the major players that America is going to declare war against is Iran and Russia. But they're going to try to invade Iran. You know?
That could happen anytime. Or is it the latest report that the United States and President Trump are going to bomb drug houses in Venezuela? Well, that, according to reports, is the big one. And that right there could be what many of these generals and admirals are going to come in a bit more about.
The event has also raised security concerns about having all the top leadership in one place, particularly given that Tuesday is the end of the fiscal year.
Oh yeah, and they're talking about operatives being activated. You know, sleeper cells, people that are trained by the government, the U.S. government, to attack its own citizens, so they can blame it on the other country. All right, we're not ignorant of how this so-called white man gets down. You know, he creates the narrative to go to war, and it'll be a bunch of baloney, fake, orchestrated lie. All right, now Ezekiel 38 and let's start at 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. You look that up. Literally, that is Russia. All right? That is Russia. And prophesy against him. So the Most High is against Putin and Russia. He's just using Putin and Russia to eventually delete America off the map. All right, to launch missiles against America. And say, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. So the Most High is turning Russia back to that old USSR Cold War spirit. All right, where they're trying to expand back their old territories. All right, and they're coming against America. And I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shields, all of them handling swords. That sword that they're handling is nuclear missiles. Persia, Iran. You see how it starts off with Iran? That's who America is going to be after. Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya with them. So these African nations that are all part of BRICS. It ain't a coincidence that Russia created a whole pack with the countries that I'm listing right here. All of them with shield and helmet. So all of them gonna have tanks, these new advanced tanks, these missile defense, SC-400s, drones, new planes, new fighter planes. They're gonna have it all. All right, it says Gomer, which is Turkey and all his bands, and the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, Armenia and Azerbaijan. Those two countries that were going against it. Remember, Russia stepped in and created an alliance between those two countries. Now they're in ties with Russia, and all his bands. So they're gonna combine all these military. Why do you think they're having military exercises? Because they're training together how to work together. And many people with thee. So millions of people gonna be on the battlefield in this World War III. Millions. Alright? Double digit millions, man. And it says, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself. Prepare for thyself. So not only is Russia been exercising with the BRICS nations and its allies, they've been preparing, their own military. Testing nuclear missiles, It says, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Who are they going to be guarding? Iran and their allies. Alright? Iran is going to be protected by Russia. So, yeah, man. Even if they try to go to wage war against Venezuela, you know that Russia and Venezuela has a deal. All right. Now let's go to Venezuela. And Russia. It says recent events in 2024 and 25 shows that Russia and Venezuela have been strengthening their political, military, and economic alliance, driven by a shared anti-Western stance and a common need to circumvent U.S. sanctions. So they're literally working together around the sanctions. This has been formalized through a new long-term agreement in high-level meetings, though some analysts note that Russia's contributions fall short of Venezuela's immense needs. So pretty much they're together. All right, they got new partnership. Like they done strengthened their ties these couple of years. Yeah, and they got, look at this. They got Venezuela and military exercises featuring Russian aircrafts, ships alongside the country. So America think they're gonna go over there and Russia really invest a lot into that country. All right. Oh, I think it says Venezuela supports them in the war too. So yeah, America wants to get the oil. And it's a reason too is because the Saudis are not fucking with America. So they gotta make a desperate attempt to sustain power by controlling a mass production of oil, which is Venezuela. Let's see, Saudi Arabian not interested in America. Yeah, they said that a couple years ago. They're no longer in the interest of pleasing America. So yeah, man.
And if the government shuts down, it could leave key personnel stranded from their units.
Now, here's something that I find is very interesting. This meeting is going to happen tomorrow, which is September 30th. That is the last day of the fiscal year. As of right now, Congress has not passed a government funding bill, but they and Pete Hegseth are calling all these generals and admirals to the United States, and not all of them are going to return back to their units. They will be let go right here in Virginia. So we'll see what happens there. I do want to show you a couple things.
Damn, and he's gonna call some of them to fire them. And people talking about Revelation 13 coming also. World War III has been starting since I was a teenager in high school back in 10, 14. Nah, man, the mark of the beast has to come for it to really go full scale.
So this is a concern. Tomahawk missiles, according to J.D. Vance. Yeah, look at this. It says you.
And them Tomahawk missiles are serious missiles. So America is pissing Russia off, because here it is. They're suing for peace, and then on the other side, they're literally giving the weapons for Ukraine to attack Russia. So yeah, man, World War III is, Hold on, let me get that. Revelations chapter 9 and 12. Well, 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So World War III is right around the corner. It's coming really quick. And there's nothing people could do to stop it. There's nothing the elites could do to stop it. There's nothing anybody could do, because the Most High has declared it, and it will happen. All right? It's written in the Bible. Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise. Yeah, because your ancient style war is like you're hearing another person's language. They're screaming. There's grunts. There's roars. Different languages. That was ancient style. And garments rolled in blood. Like you actually see the person you're killing. It's bloody. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So this war is literally going to be nuclear war. It's going to be modern warfare. People going to be dying, not by no soldier, but by somebody controlling a drone, or this warfare is going to be different. Missiles going to be flying. So this ain't like the ancient world style war. This war is going to be missiles hitting cities, people, civilians, houses, all through the Middle East. And eventually, them nuclear missiles are going to hit here in America. All right, let's see. I really want to talk about this draft that's coming. 2 Ezra 16 and 33. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. So no men out here. Because all these men are going to get shipped off to war. There was a parent that complained the other day that the school forced her son to enlist. So a lot of people are signed up for selective service, where they're literally the military. You wanted the job, you sign up for the military. People that got their citizenship. If you're called on, one of the oaths you have to take, if you're called on to fight for the country, you have to do it. A lot of people signed up for that. So there's gonna be recruiters and soldiers coming to people's houses to take them. All right, men are gonna get drafted, and these women out here, they ain't gonna have no men, no protection, and shit ain't gonna be sweet here. There's gonna be a lot of chaos going on here, So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of women looking for men in that day, but not just any man, the man of the Lord. So virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn. Yeah, the Lord need to ship all these young dumb niggas away anyways. Alright, the little high schoolers that are, spoiling the fruit. Don't know what the hell they're doing, And the Lord gonna get rid of all these dumb Edgars, these YNs. Send their ass to World War III. All these pretty boys, all these fuck boys, all these goddamn gangbangers. Yeah, Lord gonna give them something to do, and that's to fight for America. The woman shall mourn. Yeah, because by this time, women ain't gonna be able to run no game no more. Ain't gonna be no stupid shit no more. Taking selfies, trying to be cute. Because the comment board is gonna dry up. Ain't gonna be no dudes around to simp. They gonna be sent off to war to die. Right? They ain't gonna have no pick. Alright, so these women ain't gonna be out here super how women are, they're over sexualized already. They're gonna be needing that man for protection, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. So you're gonna have a lot of young ones out here that never experienced a boyfriend. They gonna suffer. Because there ain't going to be no men out here. Majority of them are going to be sent off. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of the famine. So yeah, man. So Esau pretty much going to give all these men a one-way ticket to their funeral. Fuck. Man, this modern war, you be watching the wars in Ukraine, you don't even see a soldier. You're literally fighting against an indestructible fucking drone. So, yeah, man. It's gonna be real bad. Men gonna be drafted. Women are gonna be left at home. And no man coming back, no man around. So, war, everybody suffers from war. Shit goes up,
Do you think you'll
go up. The economy struggles.
retire, and how old do you think you'll be when that happens?
I'll probably retire.
What age?
Says Ukraine-Russia war latest. Trump considers supplying Kyiv long-range Tomahawk missiles, according to J.D. Vance. Yeah, J.D. Vance is now saying President Trump is considering it. Look at this. It says, Donald Trump is considering Ukraine's request to obtain long-range Tomahawk missiles in an effort to push back against Russia. That's according to J.D. Vance. It says Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky asked the U.S. to sell Tomahawks to European nations that would send them to Ukraine. Vance said on Fox News on Sunday, adding that Trump would make the final decision on the deal. Says Trump has long denied Ukraine's request for the use of long-range missiles in the past, but has recently grown frustrated with Vladimir Putin's refusal to reach a peace deal. Not only that, but now that Russia is going to train and equip China for their aerial invasion of Taiwan. According to reports, an aerial invasion is the best way for Chinese soldiers to get into Taiwan so that they can bring in ships and come in from the ground. But we'll see. I do want to show you one other thing though. Look at this. He says that we'll see. I do want to show you one other thing though. Look at this one right here. It says Venezuela foreign minister warns of immoral military threat from the United States. He says the United States just wants Venezuela's oil. That's it, just their oil and gas. And that may be true, but again, the reason I'm bringing this up is because the meeting that's happening tomorrow, what is the purpose of this? We don't just have a meeting, bring all these generals and admirals into one specific area, because that's a huge concern, especially for us also attending the meeting. It's a huge concern. But
Luke 21:25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. So in the constellation, you got the planets aligning, you got eclipse, you got variations of blood moons, wolf moon, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the seas and the waves roaring. Men's heart failing them for fear. Literally, some people are going to be dying of heart attack for they fear the things that are coming. And for looking after those things which are coming upon the earth, they see global instability, famine, they see wars, they're looking at World War III. So people are in fear of the things that are coming upon the earth, man. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And that's going to be thermonuclear missiles hidden. America is going to cause that. But yeah. People are in fear when they see things like this. They're talking about, it's prophecy, World War III. One more thing I wanted to search up for. Did Obama call his generals for a meeting? Yep, it says Obama called his top generals for numerous meetings throughout his presidency. And it says, you got the regarding Afghanistan strategy 2009. So pretty much, yeah, the president sits down with all the generals to strategize war. Just like ancient times, you call all your generals together, you like, okay, we got some business to handle. We got enemies to kill, you know? But yeah, Lord willing, certifying an update, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Shalom.